when a sunbeam comes through your home, you all of a sudden you see all this stuff in the sunbeam. And imagine if you saw that in every part of your home, every time you're in your home, you would be desperate to do something about it. What people don't even know is what is all that toxic stuff floating in that sunbeam that you don't see until the sunbeam comes through. And believe it or not, this is kind of gross, but approximately in a human occupied space in indoor air pollution, this is a serious indoor air pollution, number one respiratory health problem in America. Number one. I mean, all right, get a hold of that. Number one respiratory health problem in America is indoor air pollution. And that's what we're talking about getting rid of with my amazing independent lab proven technology where tens of millions of Americans today are using in their home right now.
I'm Robin Jeep, and welcome to the Enliven Foods podcast, where we feature world changers, brilliant innovators, and their solutions to improve your health. And today we have one such person who's a world changer and a brilliant innovator. He's an inventor. Today we are sitting down with Julius Toth, the Ecoinventor, a serial entrepreneur, inventor, and marketing mastermind behind some of the most eco-friendly products. He's already sold billions of dollars worth of products. Millions of people have his products, so we know they work. So this is not some Johnny-come-lately product. So Julius, this is Julius Toth. Julius, I want to thank you for taking the time to sit down with us.
Sure.
And I want to just tell the viewers how we met. The way we met was I was very, very ill I had mold sensitivity. I had a lot of illnesses, and a lot of you all know about it. And what it did was it caused mold sensitivity. And anywhere I lived, there was mold, because I live in a very humid area in Missouri. And I also in Texas where I lived, it was humid and we had some flooding. So I was experiencing severe mold toxicity, so much so that I had to leave my home for almost 4 months while it was remediated. And I was scared to come back because it made me so sick. And I found Julius, who had a product that neutralizes mold in the home. And I live in a 100-year-old house with a water seeping type basement. It's a very old solid stone house. And I just didn't know how we were going to deal with this. I didn't know if I could ever live there again. So we came back, put his products in the house. Before I even came back, my partner put the products, but we're going to talk about the SafeAir Ultra. He put that in the house, and he was working with a environmental hygienist who was doing testing on our house and the mold. So he put the SafeAir Ultra in the house. He took a test before he put it in, and then he put it in, and 24 hours later, that's what Julius told him to do, he had it tested. And the hygienist said, "What did you do?" He says, "This is strange. There's no mold spores in the air." He said, "But I can see that they're like they've been burned up. It's like they've just been I can't remember what term, to what he may have
oxidized. It oxidizes.
Yeah, he says they've just been oxidized.
Yeah.
And of course, Mark told him, he said, "Well, we put this," and he says, "Well, it really works." So we've had that running in our house, and I'm able to live in this house. So my home is now a sanctuary, and we do need a sanctuary. We all need a home sanctuary because for years I've been teaching how to survive the toxic soup we're all living in. It's been my journey that has educated me in all of this. In order for me to stay alive, I've had to figure all this out and find solutions. And these are some of the people that I bring on to these podcasts. But so we're living in toxic air, toxic water, with toxic food, toxic media. All of this creates toxic thinking, toxic cleaning supplies, and toxic body care. We're just living in chemicals and mutated bacteria and just all kinds of stuff. So Julius is an expert on how to protect yourself from these things. He deals a lot with toxic air, toxic cleaning, and toxic laundry. So I want to bring up a couple of things about this toxic soup, just things recently in the news. For example, I think it was Monday, there was a terrible dust storm in Chicago, and I read about it just in the mainstream media. And they said that it was carrying all these pesticides and herbicides, all these chemicals from the farmland around there, and it was dumping it in Chicago on the people. And so they said that anybody who's sensitive in any way should stay inside while this is happening. And they said they don't even know what the long-term effects of this are going to be because the dust storm was just loaded with these chemicals. And then we've got wildfires, and which, you know, this is terrible pollution. And now the Maha report just came out, and I've been reading it, and it's going through listing the toxic diet. That it's all about making kids healthy again. It's the toxic diet, environmental exposures, medications. And so it's covering all these things really that I've been teaching about for years. And so at last it's really being exposed. All of this is being exposed, and the corruption in the government to keep these chemicals out there because there's a lot of money being made on these petrochemicals. So hopefully they're going to be dealing with it, but it's going to be a long, slow process because it's very entrenched in our government with the lobbyists and so forth. So in the meantime, we can't wait for the government to fix this situation. We have to take matters into our own hands. And Julius will show you how to do this, and it's something that won't break the bank. So that's how we met. And once we met, we were just kindred spirits. We connected. I have such respect for Julius as a businessman and marketing expert. He's off the charts, really good at this, and then knowledgeable about this situation. So I want to just go into let's talk about this toxic soup and why your home needs to be a sanctuary, because we've got sick homes. You're able to get homes healthy again, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And just a brief history of how I came into this whole thing. A lot of times people want to know if, what kind of education I have. And I call it the school of the hard knocks, Harvard school. And basically, it's just in me. When I was a kid, a young guy, 18 years old, I started selling Kirby vacuum cleaners door to door. And I did that for 7 years. I got very good at it. I actually sold 100 in 1 month. I think that's still a record. So I learned how to communicate. True selling is not trying to get people to do what they don't want to do. True selling is bringing value to the marketplace. People had no idea that was there, especially when it comes to invisible things. When it comes to invisible things like the air in your home, if when the sunbeam comes through your home, you all of a sudden you see all this stuff in the sunbeam. And imagine if you saw that in every part of your home, every time you're in your home, you would be desperate to do something about it. What people don't even know is what is all that toxic stuff floating in that sunbeam that you don't see until the sunbeam comes through. And believe it or not, this is kind of gross, but approximately in a human occupied space in indoor air pollution. This is a serious indoor air pollution, number one respiratory health problem in America. Number one. I mean, all right, get a hold of that. Number one respiratory health problem in America is indoor air pollution. And that's what we're talking about getting rid of with my amazing independent lab proven technology where tens of millions of Americans today are using in their home right now. Billions of dollars worth of these air purifiers. It's the world's first filterless air purifier. And we'll talk about filters in a little bit. They're the most these HEPA air purifiers are the most ridiculous things in the world. I always tell people, I say, look, if you want to really clean the air in your home, the old saying is, let's step outside for a breath of fresh air. How would you like to have a compact that's like a computer? How would you like to have something running 24 hours a day that literally replicates fresh outdoor air as though after a rain or a thunderstorm? That's what our machines do. They have 5 technologies. One of these machines, one of the 5 technologies is actually called PCO. It's so advanced, it's used in the NASA space shuttle. Imagine if a multi-billion-dollar space shuttle with 2 people in it is sent up to the moon. What kind of air purification are they using inside that space shuttle? Shouldn't that be important? Shouldn't that tell you volumes? They're not using a HEPA filter. Okay. If
I
HEPA
want to
filter,
ask you something.
sure,
What are
go
they
ahead.
trying, what are they protecting these astronauts from? Why are they using these air filters?
Well, because when you get into a sealed space, see, that's
Mhm.
what's happened. That's why indoor air pollution really was not a really big deal until the late 60s and early 70s. And that's when the energy crises hit. And when the
Yeah.
energy crises hit, everyone sealed up their homes. Hey, look at me, I got R99, no air is going to come in my home. And so these sealed homes became sick homes. And sick homes produced tens of millions of sick people. And now the question is, if indoor air pollution is the #1 respiratory health problem in America, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? And that's where our SafeAir Ultra, which is a whole house unit, that will, one machine about this big, will literally not just purify the air, it purifies and sanitizes surfaces at the same time. It destroys bacteria. It oxidizes chemical gases in the air. It inactivates mold spores. We have 5 technologies in one machine: UVC,
Yeah.
PCO, photocatalytic oxidation, controlled levels of safe controlled levels of oculus ozone, which is ozone naturally occurring on the surface where humans live. And we have a high density negative ionizer in the same machine. By the way, if you don't think ionization is important, in Europe, these people are so advanced when it comes to this stuff. In Europe, virtually every university classroom, they have ionizers in these classrooms. What's an ionizer? A lot of people are hearing about it now. It's not like cuckoo science anymore like it was even 20 years ago, even almost 10 years ago. But ionization literally restores what I call brain food. Matter of fact, I have a book by a guy, he wrote a whole book on the ion effect. And what ionization does, it restores the electromagnetic charge, low voltage electromagnetic charge in the air in your home. If I walked outside, I could take a meter outside, I could turn it on, and I can actually measure the ion effect. Like, the ionization outdoors is so precise. There's 3,000 negative to 4,000 positive. Uh, hold on. 4,000 positive ions per cubic centimeter. That's how perfect the ionization is outdoors. That's why a lot of people, I mean, you can read stories about it. I know Robin's very into this because she's very, very into pure health, eating, don't eat to, don't live to eat, eat to live, and all of that. But what I'm talking about is I'm talking about your indoor home or indoor business environment where the average person spends between 60 to 90% of their lives living in their homes, and we're breathing 2,500 gallons of air a day. I tell people all the time, I say, look, in your home, this should be a healthy home. What my products do, both the SafeAir Ultra, SafeAir Mini, and the Eco Washer, we literally make a sick home well. And your life will literally be transformed. Think about this. What you do the most will affect you the most. Almost everyone would agree with that. What would you do more than breathe, right? The
Right.
question
I want
is,
to go, but I still want to get the answer on the astronauts. What were they being, what did they want to, what is it they don't want in these space capsules or on the space station?
well, they don't want germs and bacteria. They don't want what PCO is. PCO stands for photocatalytic oxidation. Photocatalytic oxidation. You can produce photocatalytic oxidation multiple ways through a UVC light. But how photocatalytic, just like this, imagine the sunbeam hitting planet Earth, and inside on planet Earth, you have minerals in the ground. So what
Right.
photooxidation is a very high tech technology. It's actually a module, and it's treated. This module has like honeycomb surface, so it has lots of surface space. That's why we use honeycomb, and it's treated with what's called TiO2, titanium dioxide. And inside there, we have not a UV light, we have a UVC light. Huge difference. People say, "Oh, I got a UV light." That don't mean nothing. My light bulb has it's UV light. Okay, it's like the stupid information out there and the ignorance on this stuff is so prevalent. That's why you got to be careful of marketing scams. Anyhow, once you have this module,
There's one thing I want to do right here. Is I want to read from this. I copied this. Let's see, where is it?
sure.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is from the MAHA report, the government report. Children are exposed to numerous chemicals such as heavy metals, PFAS, pesticides, and phthalates via their diet, textiles, indoor air pollution, and consumer products. Children's unique behaviors and developmental physiology make them particularly vulnerable to potential adverse health effects from these cumulative exposures, many of which have no historical precedent in our environment or biology. So I don't know. This is a new thing that's really being brought to our forefront. I knew it, but it was kind of in the back of my mind. I didn't think about it so much, but people who have small children or pregnant really need these air purifiers because I was reading, you just read the MAHA report and you'll learn all about all this stuff. It's an excellent report. It reduces IQ. It reduces, it causes all kinds of, you have higher incidence of like ADHD, and autoimmune diseases because it's affecting these developing cells. And so just some of the things that we're being exposed to that we weren't ever exposed to before are, of course, the chemicals. And then they are doing something which is kind of kept secret, but I had firsthand exposure to it. That we have a lot of meat, and I don't know if you know about this, Julie. I think I told you about it. We have a lot of meat processing waste because the United States processes meat for other countries as well as the United States. And the waste from the meat processing plants, that would be entrails and stuff that's not even used for dog food, blood, so forth, and chemicals, because they're washing all this stuff down with chemicals. So they have to get rid of that waste. So they pay companies to haul this waste off from the processing companies. Well, those companies now, the way you have to dispose of this waste responsibly is you have to heat it to a certain degree and then bury it in landfills. That's expensive. So these companies that are hauling the waste off, one company is called Denali, is they take them and they find states that are friendly to them, and they try to go in under the guise of fertilizer. It's not really fertilizer. It does kill a lot of plants, but anyway, it's very, very toxic. So they make these lagoons. They dump this stuff into these lagoons and they ferment it. Immediately, the real estate goes down in that area. The stench is unbelievable. I got involved with we had a senator and a congressperson because there were two of them 15 miles from our home. If the wind blew from the southeast, it made me sick. It burned my throat. It was, I mean, this was some really bad stuff. And this whole area, agricultural areas have a real problem with this. This is,
Well, and
and
yeah,
people
and
get sick from it, from all of
yeah.
they don't allow, they're protected. You can't go get a sample of this stuff and test it. They did get a sample because of a spill, and it was on a public road. So the commissioner was able to get a sample. They tested it. I talked to the people that tested it. They said, because of litigation, we cannot share what was in it. She just said, but it was bad. It was very, very, very bad. And so
Well,
this
but
is in the air.
Robin, go ahead. Go ahead, finish.
I'm just saying, this is in the air. This is blowing around. This is getting
And it comes in
inside
our
the house.
house, right? Does it
Yeah.
come in our house?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, guys, you know, Robin has been really personally influenced by this, and in this area, and it's criminal what's happening. But
It
the
is.
bottom line is this: what are you going to do to protect you and those you love from insidious indoor air pollution? Matter of fact, you know, we're talking about some
Let
extreme
me just say
cases
something.
here.
I don't want to interrupt, but I want to say
Sure.
we had two air purifiers going at that point.
Right.
And our house, we'd come into our house and there was no smell whatsoever. None. If somebody's burning something near us, because we live way out in the country, no, in the house, there's no odor at all. Gone. Sanctuary.
Yeah, yeah, and this is why over the course, I sold my first. I initially worked with the first inventor that came out with the filterless air purifier. And even the beauty is you don't have to buy any of these stupid filters. And by the way, filters don't purify the air; they filter things. Okay, you know what purifies the air is nature. Okay, what's and then you got to ask, well, what's in nature? What's in nature's air?
Yes.
Ionization, activated oxygen, PCO, UVC. Okay, so that's what cleans and sanitizes. That's what gets rid of skunk smells. That's what even takes that stuff, this nasty stuff that they're polluting the environment with, what Robin's talking about. And even when they have these chemical spills, nature cleans it up. And the question that you should be asking is, what's in the air outdoors that's cleaning up the pollution that's not in the air indoors? That's really the question you should be asking yourself. And for years, for decades, this is what my team and I have done. Is we constantly, the SafeAir Ultra is our seventh. Actually, I thought it was six. I did some checking. It's our seventh upgraded machine. Now it's real high tech. It's like a solid state computer. You can't hardly hear it run. You control it with a remote control. Just set one unit up on top of like a china cabinet or someplace, and you turn it on, and it will completely control odors, bacteria, mold spores, germs. It will take all that nasty stuff that's floating in the sunbeam through ionization, coagulates it, pulls it together, creates mass, drops it out of the air. Up to 80% of that stuff is dead, putrefied human skin. It's disgusting. It's good protein supply. I know people argue with me about that. But dust mites eat our dead skin. And then they have these little feces, which is what's really toxic to the human lungs. I mean, you never heard in the 70s, I don't think there was ever anyone that has COPD. Okay, today,
No, I don't, I've never heard
millions.
of it. Yeah.
You never heard of this stuff. You know, children are actually born with asthma, allergies, because it's actually passed down genetically. Now, remember, just like in nature, when cleans up nasty, I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't make any medical claims, but I will give you some food for thought. If it can clean up all this mess in nature, wouldn't it clean up all the mess in your home? And the answer is yes, it would. And how does that affect the quality of your life, the quality of your lungs? I mean, I'm going to be 73 in another 2 months. Now, I I don't do any medication at all, and I do take some good herbs. Matter of
I
fact,
don't, and I take no, I'm 70 and I take no medications.
no medic, zero. My lungs
Zero.
are the lungs that I just got a physical. They're going, I can't believe it. You don't take any medication. I mean, you don't. You know what I do? I breathe pure, healthy, oxygen rich, bacteria free, chemical free, VOC free air in my
Here,
office where I'm at right now. I'm in my home office today. I have multiple offices. I actually have healthy living stores in the Ohio area. So we stay in touch with people. But this SafeAir Ultra, SafeAir Mini technology. This is the SafeAir Mini. This is a box. This is actually SafeAir Mini is what you'd find if you looked it up. But the reason we say it's thunder pure is because it literally, you can put one of these down in your basement if you have a musty smelling basement. By the way, anytime you smell must, you got mold. Other than radon is the most deadly. And of course, you have carbon monoxide that can kill you. Matter of fact, low level carbon monoxide, this actually oxidizes low level
wow,
carbon
didn't know that.
monoxide. Oh yeah, well, it's a chemical is what it is. Okay. And I'm not going to go into deep I tend to do that, and then next 6 hours we'll be talking about how it works. But the bottom line is you plug these things in. This one you can plug into your car. You can don't leave home without it. Take it with you to a hotel. Plug it in your RV. Plug it in your car. I live on a lake. Plug it in your boat. It's amazing. Within a couple hours, if you plug it in a stinky, musty smelling cabin cruiser, the odor is gone. You can cook fish. You can cook curry. Within an hour, the smell's gone. Okay. Then you get into the SafeAir Ultra, which is just beautiful machine. Like I said, it's our 7th updated machine. Now, the SafeAir Mini only has 2 technologies. The SafeAir Ultra has 5 because it's bigger and we can put all the technologies in there, which, of course, we created a SafeAir Mini just in case you can't afford it. I always tell people you can't afford not to. It's the lowest cost medical insurance you're going to buy. Okay.
I remember I was scared in the beginning, and I know other people are scared when you mentioned ozone.
Yeah.
And so would you talk about ozone, please?
Sure, of course. Well, in fresh country air, you have roughly 0.3 parts per million of ozone. Now, I always tell people if something works, okay, so can ozone be bad? It can be just as bad as drinking water. Then I'm usually quiet for a second. You go, what? Well, let me ask you a question. If you would pour water in your mouth faster than you could drink it, you drown in 3 minutes, right?
Right.
So is water bad? No, but it's bad in the concentration or the quantity that you use in it, right? Okay, so is ozone bad? Absolutely. If you got an ozone generator, you stuck it in your house. Okay, ozone is an oxidant, which is why it's great, but ozone's also a constrictor. It'll actually cause your lungs to constrict. Matter of fact, the human body, I mean, remember, we're not designed to live in 6 sealed homes. We're designed to live in the Garden of Eden, right? That's what a human being was designed to live in. So we're designed to live outdoors. That's why in nature, you have 0.3 parts per million of pure, healthy ozone. Now, ozone is so powerful. So to answer your question fully, in safe concentration, you have to have it. Ozone is 3,000 times. That's why they use this in hospitals for their laundry systems, which is what EcoWasher does back here, by the way. We'll get into that here in a minute. Okay, but ozone by itself, and ozone is 3,000 times more reactive in killing infectious everything than Clorox bleach. And you know what ozone is? It's a 3-part oxygen molecule. It's actually oxygen in its highest power. Ozone is self-regulating. When two ozone molecules come together, they actually interact and pardon me, when an ozone molecule hits a nasty, it oxidizes it because all chemical gases, all bacteria, everything has an open molecular structure. When O3 comes along, it's an unstable oxygen molecule, pierces it, oxidizes it, burns it up, and turns it into an innate matter, H2O, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. Now, I don't want to get into all the technical. I have a hard time staying out of that. But again, it's oxygen. When ozone, when two O3s come together, it reduces back into three O2s. Okay, so it's self-regulating molecule. But our machines never produce ozone higher than what's in fresh air. Never. So I always say, you know what our rock is? Go into fresh air. If you think ozone is bad, you definitely believe breathing fresh air outdoors is bad. How about that? Is that good?
Isn't that, I mean, also, you know, when after a storm, you can even smell the ozone.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Matter of fact, if you go to the North Pole, you can see it. That's why down south, people have a lot more allergies and stuff because moss grows on trees. What's moss? It's mold. That's what it is. That's why when these machines are running 24/7, creating ionization, which coagulates, see, ionization deals with the particulate floating in the air. It pulls it together like a magnet, creates mass, falls out of the air. That's what ionization does. And of course, it's also low voltage electromagnetic charge, which is why they use ionizers in classrooms in Europe. It's wonderful. Some people, their lives are transformed just by running ionization in their office, business, or in their homes.
It's transformed my health. I mean, I could
big
not,
time.
my body could not heal. That's one of the things when you have
Yes.
mold sensitivity, but usually because you have other issues. You can't
Yes.
heal from those other issues until you take care of the mold. And my body was able to start healing
Yeah.
finally after I got these devices in the house. Now, another thing that I believe you told me maybe about it, that if somebody comes into the house that has the flu or has COVID or something like that, comes into your house, that this will, if they cough or breathe and they're breathing out the virus, that this will neutralize it.
Well, first of all, just imagine for a moment. Remember what's in the sunbeam? Got it?
Yep.
Loaded with all kinds of stuff in a human occupied space. Again, they call us flakes because we truly are flakes. We're constantly flaking zillions of skin flakes. So it's so light, it's a nano-sized particulate, micro-size, even nano-size is even smaller. When that stuff's in the air and you sneeze, it lands on that stuff that stays in the air. So there you go. You go, now you got it. Okay. Now, not only does the ionization take it and drop it out, so it's not even in the air. It's not going to, a virus cannot stay in the air. It falls down. But even when you have PCO, here's the other thing with the SafeAir Ultra, which is the way to go. When you have PCO and you have ozone and you have ionization and you have UVC and a lifetime electrostatic cleanable filter, when you have those 5 technologies working in concert, when it's putting stuff out, when the ozone and PCO and ionization all work together, it's like mixing different chemicals all together. You no longer have the same chemical. You now have a whole, instead of ozone, you actually have what's called hydroxyl radical, the HR molecule. The HR molecule is Earth's most potent, safe molecule that's the most potent for killing infectious everything. Kills infectious everything. The O3 and the HR molecule pierces a bacteria. A virus has an open bacteria. Everything is open. Every VOC has an open molecule except for radon. Radon is closed and falls down to the floor. That's why people put in, they spend $6,000 to get a radon remediation thing. It's just PVC. Boy, those guys make a lot of money. And but even if you don't do anything, the radon actually ends up breaking down and going into a powder form, real nano-sized particulate, and the ionization running. Remember, these machines have to run 24 hours a day in your home.
Wait. So now you're saying that I didn't know this, that these machines will neutralize radon?
Radon, if you don't deal with radon decomposes.
Yes.
And when radon decomposes, it decomposes to a particulate.
Yes.
And it's so tiny, it goes airborne because of the lack of ionization. Remember what ionization is? Ionization is the electromagnetic charge in there, negative and positive. It's like a magnet. Whoop, pulls them together, drops it out there, so you're not breathing.
So I want to just to make sure I've got this right. So when it degrades, it becomes it gets airborne. And
Yeah,
so
right.
people inhale it, and that's why they get the lung problems. But this
Yes.
machine, it does the same thing it does with bacteria, mold, and all that. It causes
Right.
it to fall on, then you vacuum it up.
That's why we have 5 technologies in one machine, not just one. Just one. If you had just an ozone generator, if you had just a UV light, if you had just the reason HEPA air purifiers, and let me punch this in the nose so the nose bleeds, okay? Because there's probably 100 million people out there that use a HEPA air purifier in the United States, okay? And the reason a HEPA air purifier is incapable of purifying the air in your home is because it's not an air purifier. Okay, it's a filter. So first of all, it's a reactive product. It's a big filter like this. When you run a HEPA air purifier, the air has to come to it, then go through it to clean it. So you take some particulate out of there. You're doing nothing to get rid of the stuff floating in there. You're doing nothing to kill bacteria and germs in the air, destroy. That's what ozone and hydroxyl radical and UV does. Okay, and the worst part about, well, first of all, how are you going to tell that air to the other side of the room to come here? Okay, let's say this is an air purifier. How are you going to tell the air from the other side of the room to come here, go through the filter, and come out clean? Well, filters don't whistle and air don't obey, okay? It's ridiculous. They call it KDAR, but here's what happens to a filter. The better the filter, the faster it clogs. Well, once a filter is clogged, that means air's not coming through, right? So you lose KDAR real quick. And the worst thing is inside that filter, it's dark, damp, and warm. It's the ideal breeding ground for bacteria. Do you really want a filter that's filthy, full of dead skin, germs, bacteria, everything? Do you really want to blow a fan over that filter and blow that back in the air? Do you really want to do that, Robin?
No, I don't. I just looked it up for you also. Is 25% of American households own a HEPA air filter.
There you go.
Let
And
me
you know
tell you
what?
what,
You
I'll tell
got to
you,
buy filters every.
but let me tell you, there's a good side to it. The pharmaceutical industry and the medical industry makes money off of this HEPA air filter because you're going to get sick people.
Hey, if I want to just make money, I would sell HEPA air purifiers because people want, in a period of 5 years, every single HEPA air purifier you have purchased in a period of 5 years. And if you look it up, we actually did the math. We have a whole chart on this. Okay. if you bought HEPA air purifiers for a 2,500 square foot home, each HEPA air purifier does 500 square feet. Okay, do the math. You know, I always tell people liars can figure, figures don't lie. If you did 500 square feet, you would need how many? You would need 6 at $500. How much is that? 6 times 5 is $3,000, right? Now, every year you're supposed to change those filters, in most cases, twice a year. Some cases, 1 time a year, and they tell you you don't need to change your HEPA filter. They're lying to you. Okay. That's ridiculous. Okay. Anyhow, the cost of filters is multiple times more than the initial cost of the air purifier. And you know, the sad thing is, most people never change that filter like the user's manual tells them to. And now you have filthy air. It has become the #1 pollution source in your home. take that HEPA air purifier, cut the cord, throw it in the trash. And a lot of your allergists out there are telling you to do that as well.
Well, you think about it, if 25% of American households have a HEPA filter, and COPD and all these, and asthma and all these lung issues are rising exponentially, I would say it's not working.
See, the SafeAir technology is not reactive, it's proactive. We're not trying to draw the air to it to go through it. These machines are pumping out just like nature. Zoom, negative ionization, activated oxygen, PCO, photocatalytic oxidation, hydroxyl radicals, ionization, restoring electromagnetic charge. Hey, if HEPA filters worked, the sky would be full of HEPA filters with angels changing the filters all day long, right? And the old adage is, let's step outside for a breath of fresh air. That holds true today. Why do that when you can literally have one machine that will control and restore polluted, sick, I call it dead air. We turn it dead air into living air through ionization. That's why they use them in classrooms in Europe.
We had a very fancy HEPA filter, an expensive one, and it didn't help me at all. It wasn't until I put the SafeAir Ultras in here that I got any results.
I sometimes I have customers that have paid $1,000 for a HEPA air purifier. And I ask them all this. I like to play with people. I enjoy playing. I'm just a kid at heart. But I ask them, what did it do for you? They say, and here's what they all say. They say, well, it says right here that it does this, 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 this. I says, no, I didn't ask you that. What did it do for you? You know, when people pay $1,000 for something that doesn't do much, they'll defend it. They don't want to look like a fool. Hey, so what works is nature, right? What works is nature, right? So why not bring nature in your home through the advent of micro technology? That's what we're using, just like the smartphone. We're using this smartphone right here cost me $1,400. My products are so high tech. SafeAir Ultra, SafeAir Mini are so high tech. You don't have to buy any filters. You don't have any fillers, no nothing. Turn them on, run. You can take even the SafeAir Mini, you can put on a mattress, just like Grammy used to drag it outside, let it set in the sun. She kind of knew what was going on. You can sanitize your mattress. You can sanitize, hey, hunters. Whoa, we sell so many of these to hunters. They stick their hunter stuff in the closet, turn this on, gets rid of all the human smell. Sometimes when I'm traveling, this comes with an 8-foot-long USB cord, so you can actually carry it around in your hand. And if you get a little BO, just put it right there.
Well, so back to the ozone. One of the things, like this one friend that she needed it and she finally bought it, but she was so scared of the ozone. The good thing about it is you can turn the ozone off. You don't have to have the ozone.
You don't have to use it at all. You can just use, by the way, PCO by itself without the ozone. And by the way, the ozone is a SafeAir Ultra. It's controllable to 250 square feet increments all the way up to 3,000. Okay. And even if 1 out of 10 people hate the smell of ozone, within 6 months, they love the smell of ozone. It's an amazing phenomenon. I always tell people,
I don't smell like with ours. If I have it, low, like at 250 or 500, I don't smell any ozone. It's only if I turn it up really high and then leave the house,
And you don't need to run it that high. You don't even need to.
No,
because
I run it very low.
Well, and again, on the SafeAir Ultra, it's a remote control. I have 3 purge settings. I mean, think about it. This is my 7th upgrade. Okay. I mean, this machine has everything. And by the way, it's got a 30-year life expectancy. Okay. But you got 3 purge modes, 30, 60, and 120 minutes. And when it's done, it turns everything on to high. If you cook curry, use the purge mode. Okay. And the interesting thing about ozone, or in the case of the SafeAir Ultra hydroxyl radical, because the PCO and the ozone creates that whole new molecule called the HR molecule. It actually smells more like rain than ozone. Ozone is
Yeah,
like you smell
I've
after
had
a thunderbolt.
I've had our house, people have come in and smelled our house, and they said it smells like the mountains, up in the mountains.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole house smells like. I'm just
Right,
wondering.
it doesn't have, and it smells very fresh.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It
I'm a pastor, and we do home church, and people come to our home church. We have a large home, and sometimes a lot of people come, and they'll come up to me afterwards and say, "Pastor, I think I was healed." I say, "What's going on?" Say, "Well, I came in all stuffed up, and I'm breathing really free now." I say, it could have been Jesus. I'm not taking that away, but it could be that SafeAir Ultra running up there.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
my,
that's one
I
of the most common testimonials. My eye clear up. I'm breathing freely. That's one of the most common testimonials.
you don't
Wow,
have
did you see
this.
that? Wow,
Yeah,
watch that.
what was that?
That was cool. I thought.
Did you do that?
I can't.
So I noticed that, yeah, the congestions, it's much better. What I do, because we have an 800 square foot house. It's a very tiny old stone house in the woods.
Sure.
We have the one SafeAir Ultra in the living room, and that's almost the 250 mode with the ozone. And the one I have in my
Right.
bedroom, I don't have the ozone on at all.
Right. Right. Well, why don't we do this, Rob? And let me conclude about the air purifier. Okay.
Can you show it? Can you show the SafeAir Ultra
Yes, I'll grab it.
so they can
I got one out there.
eyes?
I'll grab it in a minute. I got the SafeAir Mini here, and I've got the Eco Washer here. I'll go out there and grab it before we conclude.
Okay, because I
But
want them to see the size, in
oh
comparison.
yeah, well yeah, yeah. I'm in my office. I just need a SafeAir Mini in here. That's why I run a SafeAir Mini. And I have a 7,000 square foot home. Okay, so it's super high ceilings, and our main level is around 4,000 square feet, and our lower level is around 3,000 square feet. Did you see that move again? Wow, that's really cool. I got a new iPad, so that's probably what's doing it.
Did you
uh,
do SafeAir Ultras?
Two. That's all you need.
One
In my
upstairs,
house, yeah,
downstairs.
yeah, yeah. But again, even if your doors are closed, when you follow my user's manual, which I write myself over the period of since 1994, uh, uh, it will do every single room in your home, including the closed up, even if you close doors. But I'm not going to get into too much because I want to hit the Eco Washer a little bit. Matter of fact, with Eco Washer, it's such a phenomenal product. I actually entered my company with, and for actually over 13 years, I was director of new product development for a multi-billion-dollar company. My products sold over $2.3 billion worth. Okay, so these products, I mean, everything has went into these products. These are not toys. They're not, oh, I hope it works. No, we have independent lab tests. One independent lab test is 20 grand, okay? And with Eco Washer, you can go to our ecowasher.com and you'll see all kinds of lab tests and you'll see the lab reports. I just want to say right out of the gate, I did not come up with a concept for the Eco Washer. We actually discovered about 15 years ago that actually I have our little Eco Washer demo book here. I'll show you an actual photo. This is where it all started. See that big industrial machine there? Okay.
Yes.
That's what they use in hospitals. Okay. So they use ozone ionization and magnet technology. And that's what we use with the Eco Washer. And all we did, the first Eco Washer was, God, huge like that. Okay. And now it's the new SE model, and you can see it on ecowasher.com. It's only about this big. It takes maximum 15 minutes to hook it up to a washing machine. And you transform your existing washing machine into a hospital laundry technology. The reason hospitals use this technology, obviously, is because it kills and destroys all the infectious stuff in the laundry so it doesn't spread. That's why you'll see these machines used in assisted living, nursing homes. We sell a lot of eco washers to dental offices, tanning salons, beauty salons. Veterinarian clinics love them. The new Eco Washer actually has a hose, and you'll see it on our website, ecowasher.com. I actually do what's called the inventor's demo. And by the way, I have on ecowasher.com, or you can go to ecoinventions.com. I actually do a demo on the SafeAir Ultra, SafeAir Mini. I do inventor's demo, okay? And it's pretty amazing. If we can get people to watch the video, they click and buy. Just it's crazy. Okay. I mean, even with my friends, I carry my cards with me and I hand them a card. I just explain what they do and I give them the card. I put a URL code on the back and I'll talk to someone. Probably 1 out of 2 people I talk to just go on there and buy one. It's just amazing what it does. But anyhow, what the Eco Washer does, it takes about, matter of fact, I believe I have on this particular model, we have 3 models. Yeah, there you go. Okay. See how it hooks right up to your existing washing machine right here? Okay. We've sold Eco Washers in Bed Bath & Beyond. I sold them on Home Shopping Network. We've been on Fox News. And what I was saying to you about the International Houseware Show in Chicago, we entered a contest that Kevin Harrington of Shark Tank, the original shark, put up a contest called the Big Pitch for the most innovative product award for green clean, and I won. I actually won a $50,000 bonus prize for inventing the Eco Washer. So hey, kudos. I mean, we got that right there. See, we got the most innovative product award.
I haven't. I'm just telling the folks I have an eco washer, and I love it because you don't use any detergent. You use no
Zero,
soap.
nothing.
Nothing. The
No
only
detergent, no hot water, no fabric salt, nothing. Throw it and turn it on.
And my clothes, I like the way my clothes and my towels come out. I do sometimes if I have a spot, like some spot, I'll use the stain remover, the enzyme stain remover that they have.
Yeah, we have an Eco Washer enzyme stain remover. So just like with detergent, when you use a stain remover, if you got like grandkids, we got grandkids ground in dirt, right?
So that's the only, but my towels are fluffier. I noticed, I didn't know this before, but there seems to be some kind of residue, detergent or residue, because we never use fabric softeners, but there seemed to be some kind of residue on the towels and on my clothes. And I believe that my clothes, I don't worry as much about washing my clothes all the time because I used to, I know that the washer wears down your clothes when you wash your clothes all the time. So I don't, and it's cold water. It's not even hot water that I wash in.
We actually rewashed one garment. We called the rinse water, and this is gunk-filled chemical rinse water that came out of one garment. We wash towels after by the 3rd wash. Your towels will literally leaven. We sell Eco Washer called the EXL. It's more of a commercial model to tanning salons and beauty salons and veterinarian clinics all over the country. All these people, they wash laundry literally the whole time they're there. The washing machine and is going. They actually did a test with the Eco Washer, and their expensive towels in an expensive tanning salon. It's real important for them. They buy these luxurious towels. The towels lasted just under 3 times longer. Detergent is terrible. There's not one good thing about it. It's expensive, it's stupid, it's poisonous. Okay, it lays on your skin and it absorbs right into your bloodstream. Trust me, it does. We did all kinds of research on this.
It goes into everything that goes on your skin goes into your gut and affects your microbiome.
Because it goes into your bloodstream first. And by the way, if you read the ingredients on the back of your favorite detergent, virtually every ingredient, every chemical toxic ingredient is a carcinogen. It's cancer causing. Are you
Yeah.
serious? Okay. And of course, now with the new Eco Washer, by the way, your laundry comes out cleaner, brighter.
Yeah.
It doesn't dull your clothes. The reason you have to throw fabric softener in there is because detergent dries out everything, just like taking medicine. That's why you're thirsty all the time. Okay, it dries you out. Okay, but you can see that little lady in the yellow with the hose.
Yes.
The new Eco Washer SE has a hose with a sprayer, so you can literally have unlimited production of this high-powered oxyionized water. Put it in a spray bottle, wash your windows, no detergent, no soap, no streak, no film. It's amazing. That's why anytime you use chemicals, it reattracts the dirt. Not only is it poisonous, it has poisonous vapors. Okay.
I use it when I'm going to do raw vegetables, my organic raw vegetables, because they have, there's a lot of pathogens and things on them.
It completely emulsifies, it vaporizes the pesticide.
I take a tub, a little square tub, put my vegetables in there, take it in there to my laundry room, fill it up with that hose, and
Yep.
and let my vegetables sit in that for a while.
Yep, that's right. And by the way, it takes to hook it up. One of my testimonies is from a lady that says, I'm on mechanical and I hooked it up myself in 15 minutes. Yeah, the most mechanical part you need to do to hook it up is you have a back plate and put a couple screws in there. That's it. Once you line it up, and we have on our website, we show you how to put it up. It's so simple. Then you take the cold water hose on the back of the washing machine, you unscrew it, screw it to the little inlet right there. Say, just screw it on there from the back of the washer to there. We have a hose in the box, screw it onto here, screw it to the back where you took it off, and you're done. You don't use hot water, so you don't need it. And from now on,
Don't you have to cap your hot water or something? I didn't do
turn
it
it
myself.
off. Just turn it off. You don't use the hot water anymore.
And it's
Yeah.
only about, I know it's about, oh, what is it, 10 inches maybe? And then it's about,
the micro size one, the SE.
that's what we have.
Last year we
Not wide.
completely it now has an LED screen on it. If someone's in California, I'm in Ohio, they have a problem, they call me up and I ask them the numbers on the LED screen. A lot of times we can just fix a problem right on the telephone. Again, with the Eco Washer, this is my 6th upgrade on the Eco Washer. So wow, it's like a bulletproof machine, and it's literally solid state like a computer. And you don't have to buy any fillers. You don't have to do anything to maintain it. We have magnets in there, so it softens your water. If you have very hard water, it'll go on any washing machine. It has a PC board in there, very smart machine. And so it'll adjust to any type of washing machine, smart washing machine that you can have. It's just wonderful. And the simplicity, God, just by itself, okay, the simplicity of using an Eco Washer. Imagine never walking down the poison aisle at Target, picking up all your poison, putting it in your cart, paying for it, lugging it home, putting it up in your cabinet, mixing your poisons, pouring it in. The back of your washing machine, inside the washing machine, it builds up detergent, gunk, scum, and slime, which, of course, the water goes back there. Now it's in your laundry. That's why it stinks. That's why washing this is all gone. If you have a septic tank, one of my customers wrote in. He said, my neighbor has a septic tank. They have to pump their septic 3 times to my 1 time because we're not putting this poisonous stuff, which kills the friendly flora, which, by the way, kills planet Earth too. So if I always tell people, please quit supporting these corporate chemical villains. Now, how would you like to know how to get an Eco Washer today? I don't mean to be giving you a sales pitch, but this is like really real. Okay. You can get an Eco Washer today and not have to give me $1. And you can use it every month and never have to pay for it until it pays for itself. then the average household out there, okay, it's not on this box, but the average household saves $700 a year on, and we're not even talking about how much longer your clothes are going to last. Your lint trap, by the way, virtually goes empty because it's not detergent dries out. It's very harsh. That's what ruins dulls your colors. All that is gone. Okay, but the money you're spending up to $700 a year in 10 years, you're saving over $7,000 just on direct chemical hot water related costs. We're not talking about your health. We're not talking about the waste of time, go shopping, bring it home, store it, clean it, blah, 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 blah. All this stupid stuff. It's all gone with the Eco Washer. And I mean, you can now eat your strawberries, peaches, plums, apples.
But wait, you were going to tell them how they could get this for free.
Yeah, we have a program where you can get for $25 a month, interest free for 1 year. You save way more money. Way more money. You'll save way more money per month using the Eco Washer than you're currently spending. So wouldn't you agree, if that's true, if you save more money than what you're spending, wouldn't you agree you got it for free, Robin?
Yes. Yep.
Order it.
But let's talk about, because you talk about the Eco Washer. Let's talk about where they can get, and just to let you know, Julius has more products, but this is enough. I mean,
wait till you see the Eco Washer vac mop. God, you're gonna love it.
Oh, he's got all kinds of things on his website. You can see them, but you were going to give them a special deal if they with a code for either the Eco Washer or the SafeAir or both of them.
Yeah, yeah. Robin, go ahead and give them your code, because that's the code they're going to save. We have the lowest price on our website right now. It's what we sell it for. But when you put Robin's code in there, and I appreciate Robin inviting me onto her podcast, you put in, what's your code, Robin?
You came up with it. Was it Robin? It was Robin.
Robin 20.
Robin 20. Okay.
Yeah, that means on top of our lowest map price on our website, you're going to save an additional 20%. That's Robin with an I, ROBIN, 20, Robin 20. Yes.
And so do they put that, will they put that code in if they order it online?
When they go to the shopping cart, you put the code in, it deducts 20% off the lowest map price.
And then you've got Brittany also who they can call, right?
Yes. Well, you can call, absolutely. Matter of fact, I talk to customers all day. Okay. I have a staff that answers the phone and stuff like that, but I take calls. I mean, I retired from corporate a few years back, and so I'm back running my own company, and so I love talking to people. And when they call me back and they tell me all the wonderful things, children, their skin stops itching, people with major chemical sensitivities. I mean, their life changes. Do you know I can walk into your room where if you have a small room and you're doing laundry, you pour your poisons and toxins in there, your cocktails. I can walk in there with a VOC meter, turn it on, and I can hold it right there in the laundry room. Within 5 minutes, the gases coming out of the toxins coming out of your detergent coming back into there. That VOC meter will literally tell you, it'll come on, beep, 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 and tell you to evacuate the premises.
Well, I want people to know that what I do with my podcast is I bring these brilliant innovators, world changers, and their solutions. So I'm not here just trying to sell product, but I believe there are a lot of podcasts out there that just tell about the problem and what's going on, and it might be some doctor or something, and they're not really, I'm not getting the solution. And so I wanted to only bring on people that have developed a solution that is available to people. I'm really not interested in I am interested and I study it and read it all the time, theories and all that stuff. But for this podcast, we're in a serious situation in the world right now, and we need
Yeah, yeah.
solutions. So that's what my show is all about. So it may seem like I'm trying to sell stuff, but I'm only trying to get things into your hands that that will help you. And do I make any money off of this? Julius will give me discounts. Like another one that I do, the Natasha Trenev, they give me discounts. I buy a lot of the probiotic products. We buy these pure air purifiers, and so and different Julius's products. So we get discounts on things, and that's how I do it. Is I get discounts.
Well,
And
well, Robin, one of the things we do, and we're not trying to hawk something on the show. I just hope this was really educational for you. But for me to talk about how bad the problem is and not offer you an affordable solution on what you can do to have your family go toxic, chemical free. Imagine no more buying any of this junk.
yes, you don't
Okay.
even have it in
Just
your
the
house.
hassle and the money you're going to save is ridiculously, it pays for itself over and over again. But in 30 days, 1 month, when you order, whether you get a SafeAir Ultra, SafeAir Mini, Eco Washer SC, Eco Washer EXL, whatever you get from our company, in 30 days, if you don't love it, ship it back. We even pay the shipping charge back if you want your money back. Okay. So we're not trying to go, oh, you know what, buy it, and you're kind of stuck with. Are you kidding? I actually just hung up before I got on the call. I had one of my customers, and people can ask for me and I will talk to them. And a lady just bought another SE, and people tell me all the time, oh my God, did this, my granddaughter had this issue. I've been so alert. I had no idea why I was getting headaches all the time, and my headaches are gone. uh, I would believe it or not, even vacuum cleaners are so terrible. We actually have hermetically sealed vacuum cleaners we sell. And the Eco Vac Mop by Eco Washer is just crazy. It actually sanitizes your hard floor surfaces and your carpets and everything when you're cleaning. Okay. So we have everything for it. We're a total healthy home technology center, is what we are. And anything you get, you don't love it, hey, there's no gamble here. Hook her up. If you don't think it's the best thing since sliced bread, return it. Got to warn you, virtually nobody returns it. Probably in the last 10 years, I'm serious. I can count on one hand. I mean, imagine Bed Bath and Beyond has sold eco washers. The only reason I say used to is they closed the stores. Of course, we sell them online everywhere. Also, you can get an eco washer. One of our the largest hardware store in the world is right here, 10 miles from us, called Hartville Hardware. And their appliance department, they sold up to 100 in 1 month. That's how much people love these. Word of mouth is crazy on these products. And that's what proves
Can
they
you?
work.
It does. Well, just would you give your website, your telephone number, all that information, please?
Sure. The website is Eco Washer, just like that, ecowasher.com. And you can also go to Ecoinventions, plural, ecoinventions.com. That is a lot of my other products on there too. And of course, for Ecoinventions
Where you
or
got
Eco Washer,
the SafeAir Ultra and the SafeAir Mini are at Ecoinventions, right?
and they're also on Eco Washer.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Matter of fact, we if you get like the Eco Washer and the SafeAir products together, we have a healthy home bundle savings as well. Yeah,
Good.
but honestly, Robin, it's not going to save 20%. Okay, so I'm just telling everyone, Robin20, Robin20 at either ecowasher.com or ecoinventions.com.
Well, thank you so much, Julius. I really appreciate you
Yeah.
spending with us and explaining this. It's so important. And folks, you're going to be hearing a lot more about what's going on with the environmental toxins now that the MAHA thing has been released.
This
So
is, yeah, I can't emphasize the importance of having a safe haven and
yes,
having your home be a healthy home, safe haven. We're spending 60 to 90% of our lives indoors. Throw out your toxic poison chemicals, don't
yeah,
need any of it. Throw out your quote HEPA air purifiers, which are just consuming your money, and it's not purifying anything, it's just filtering the little thing. And get rid of this stuff that don't work and put in tested, proven technology that's been
yes.
out there. Millions of these have been sold, so this isn't anything new.
I'll just say one thing before we go. When I moved out for almost 4 months, I did not know if I was going to be able to come back to my home. But before that, it was really freaky. At night, I would have trouble sleeping, and I would be with
Makes sense.
anxiety about, am I getting poisoned? I'm getting poisoned in this house. I'm breathing more mold. What do I do? What do I do? Do I go to a hotel? I'd go stay with friends. It was torturous. Just, if your home is not a sanctuary, that is a terrible, terrible feeling.
People don't even know why they have chronic headaches all the time. They start cleaning up their homes, getting rid of the chemicals, running air purification system that literally mimics the freshest air on planet Earth 24 hours a day. By the way, these products use the Mini uses about 3 pennies a day to operate. The Ultra uses about 6 cents a day. That's it. Okay. Runs 24 hours a day, does every square inch of air in your home. Unbelievable, these products. And you got to try it. I mean, if you don't try it, you won't know it. But if you think things are bad now, unfortunately, things just get worse, like the pollution outdoors that comes in. Believe it or not, we sell a lot of our products to Amish country. They put the manure out there and people are dying.
Well, and
I,
anybody who lives near farmland,
oh my
anybody
God.
near where they're growing corn and wheat and all of those things, get a SafeAir Ultra. Get this in your house. Those
Hey,
chemicals are getting in your house.
if you have pets, my mother-in-law is a cat woman. You can walk in her home, you won't even know she has a cat.
Yeah, we have
It's
two dogs.
amazing.
You don't smell our dogs, and our dogs are
Zero,
young.
zero.
And they were, it took two males. It took a long time to house train them, and nobody ever smelled, because
Well,
we were
put
coming to
it put
clean
it
up their.
down in a basement that smells musty. And by the way, if it smells musty, you could be in serious trouble. When you smell must, you got mold. Mold spores. Remember, mold spores is, I think, like the third highest, most deadly indoor air pollutant, and it can put you in the emergency room. And
Right.
then if you keep breathing it, you can actually get internal mold. It's terrible, and you
If you've
don't
got that,
want this stuff. And that's what these products literally deal with, all these horrible things that can happen to people.
remember that hygienist that we sent the samples to, he saw that it had ionized those mold spores from
I
20
mean, we have Petri
hours later.
dishes. You can look it up on our website. Where these are all independently tested. Yeah.
Okay, so Julius, thank you so much. This was a
Thank
great
you.
talk. Fun. And
Well, this was a lot of fun, Rob, and thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
thank you. Bless you.
Bless you too. Bye bye.